Hello, let's keep working on our Icads, shall we? I am working on 29 is my next number. So I have 28 down and quite a few left to go. I have these left. I had something I think I have for that, so I'm going to put that aside. So what can I do? I have some images here. Don't you just love her? I just love her. Her whole, I watched a documentary on her and how Warhol and other people stole her art ideas and took them over as theirs. It was really sad. She really was quite creative. That's kind of neat. I have some more of the cicadas. I didn't use them up the other day. Here I am digging. Oh wait, this is cool. Now I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. That's awesome. So, let me find, I can glue it on here. Anyway, I was just thinking about my grandparents' garden, the ones that I was talking about, their house sold in an earlier video. And they had the most awesome garden. They had, their yard was 6 city lots. So it was a huge yard. And most of it was garden space. They had a huge garden. And everything was kind of centered around the garden. You know, canning and all that fun stuff. You know, people are going, why in the world are you covering up the paint? Well, the thing is that it's just a starting point, a jumping off point. It's not made in stone, and mixed media is actually, you know, layers and doing things that you think are going to look good. So do I want it to go this way or the other way? I think I might do it this way because it's kind of fun to go upside down. Make people wonder about me. This is our true reality, and this is an alternate reality. How's that sound? That's what I say. Doesn't have to make sense. Okay, where are my jacked up scissors? Here they are. And I'm not wearing my glasses, so I may have everything off kilter too. Anyway, they had a huge garden, my grandparents did, and huge strawberry plot. And my grandma would let us go out there, my sister and I go out there and eat all the strawberries that would fill our stomachs. And it was so big, I mean, she couldn't possibly use them all or eat them all. That's how big it was. And it was in like tiers too, and it was just, oh, it was so good. And, you know, we'd help weed and plant and harvest. And what was funny is Grandma would give us these long sleeve shirts of Grandpa's, and then she'd spray us down, I'm not kidding, with Raid. Speaking of bugs. And my sister and I were joking the other day that we probably glow in the dark because of the being sprayed with Raid as young kids. I'm sure that was not the healthiest thing to inhale or have on our skin or whatever. But, you know, we didn't get eaten alive by the flies or the mosquitoes, so. Okay, now what else do I want to do on this? Well, I kind of have to keep it flat. Well, you know me, I think I'm going to add some gold paint. Let's do that. My poor paintbrush that's falling apart. Okay, let's see, where do I want to put the gold paint? I think I'm just going to do circles. Freehand some circles in gold paint. Yep, she would have tomatoes and kohlrabis. Oh, I love kohlrabis. In the fall, I'd go out into the garden and just pick a kohlrabi and eat it straight from the garden. Potatoes, corn, peas, beans, you name it. Okra, even okra. She made okra pickles. Can you believe? Up here in the north in South Dakota, my grandmother grew okra and made okra pickles. One of my great aunts was from Arkansas, and I think that's where Grandma got the idea to make the pickles, got the recipe, and oh, they're so good. So, just so awesome. If I could see where else to put a circle. I like that. Now, let's see, maybe a little black paint over here. I always get crazy with it. I gotta be careful here. I got crazy again. Holy schmoly, so runny. Okay, so I'm gonna put black dots. All around. I'm into this black dot thing lately. But it's fun. It's what helps me right now. I don't have to think too much. I can just play and get this paint under control. The one thing that my grandparents, they had a mulberry tree for many years, and that was a messy thing. But I love mulberry jelly and pie and stuff. And I don't know what I was doing there. Got some dipped into the gold there. We just had some fun. Canning with Grandma. She taught us how to can, how to bake. The one thing that I didn't get was her kolaches recipe, which is Czech, but Grandma was Bohemian because when her parents left, my great-grandparents left, it was Bohemia. But I didn't get that recipe before she passed away, and I felt so awful. It's like, oh, I would just love to have her recipe. And lo and behold, my mom had gotten her mom's recipe file, and when I happened to go through it, there was in my grandma's writing to my other grandma was the kolache recipe, and it was so good and so exciting to find it and to know, how she did it. And she made them the thumbprint ones, not the ones that were just, they were thumbprinted, not made into a pastry type thing. They were a pastry, but the prunes or the apricots, and then she made apple for my sister because she didn't like either prune or apricot in the center, So it was very good, and with kind of a lip around it, kind of like this, and then the fruit would be in there. But anyway, those were good. And another good thing that was made, my grandma made, that was what her mom would make was the prune dumplings. And what you did is you took a plum and you put dumpling dough around it, and you boiled it. And you boiled it for, I can't remember, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever it was, till the dough was done. And oh my goodness, that was so good. You'd get the dumpling would come out, and you'd put it on cottage cheese and eat it that way, and then maybe sprinkle some cinnamon over it. Oh, and butter, lots of butter. It was so good. I just remember that so well. Now, I never made that for my son. Isn't that crazy? I probably should have. He'd never had it. Okay, so we got 29 done. Let's try to work on 30. We'll work on 30. Got an image to find. Oh. Okay, here's a bunch of fish. Let's do fish again. I really enjoyed working with the fish. Okay, so the reason why I decided to go with fish is because we have, these could be bubbles. Let's see, maybe put the fish this way. Blowing bubbles. We don't want him swimming upside down, then he'd be pushing up daisies, wouldn't he? And maybe this fish can be coming down this way. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, well, let's do that. I'm loving this composition notebook. I'm loving it. It's just awesome. So, I do need to clean my desk. I have got a holy mess. One of these first few days when I'm feeling a little bit better. Just gluing makes me happy. I enjoy it. Same grandparents I was talking about. We'd go fishing. They had a boat, and we'd go out on the boat and just kind of troll along the river, And we caught everything from walleye to northern, I hate northern pike, to small and largemouth bass. We would catch sturgeon, carp, of course, and yeah, and it was always fun to do that. I don't know if once in a while, I think we had a rig in the water, but I don't think we did too often. I think we just kind of enjoyed for a while until we got older. I think we enjoyed just sitting in the boat and enjoying the water. My grandpa was so lucky with fishing. He could catch a fish in a bucket full of sand, I swear. He really was a lucky fisherman. He was also a guide, a fishing guide. But he kind of had quit that by the time we were old enough because they were in their late 40s, 50s when we came along. And he had kind of pretty much quit guiding by the time we were, old enough to not be bored in a boat. I kind of like that. Now, what can we say about this one? You think I have any fun little... Well, first of all, I'm thinking, guess what? I'm thinking I might just use some of the rest of my gold paint just here and there, and then some of my black paint. Use it up instead of putting it in the composition book. Use it on my cards. I don't know if I have any fun sayings that would work with this, but I'll look. Of course, the saying won't go on here because it's going to be too wet. I did a lot of hunting and fishing growing up. And I can't stand the taste of fish. The thought of eating fish makes me want to gag. I just don't like it. I think you had so much of it growing up, and I used to love tuna sandwiches, and I think what happened was that when I was out on my own, in my early 20s, I think I got into a bad can of tuna, or maybe it was a generic, tuna thing. Ugh. After that, I do not eat tuna ever. Ugh, just the smell of it takes me out. And we had gotten some canned salmon, so Mom was I'd never had salmon patties from, I've never eaten out of a can for salmon. It's always been fresh. And so we were going to try that a couple months back, and Mom was going to make it like her mom made it when she was younger. And I was all excited, and we all took a taste of it and went, no way. Isn't that terrible? We just did not enjoy the fish. And Mom likes fish sticks, and she likes eating, is it cod? She won't eat tilapia, but she enjoys eating cod, and she'll eat fish. If we go out, she'll eat, walleye or something. But there's no way I can, and my sister doesn't care for fish anymore either. But I think she will eat a fish stick, and I don't know if that counts as a fish or not, So, Anyway, that's kind of the excitement with our fish expeditions there and what we eat. Do you like fish? Will you eat it? Did you have too much of it growing up? You know, we grew up right along the river, so, you know, we fished and hunted, and I can't eat game meat anymore either, you know. I probably would be able to eat a wild turkey or something like that, but to eat a wild goose or duck, ducks always tasted gamey to me. And what else? You know, I don't think I could, or, you know, the venison and stuff. I like it if it's made into like sticks or jerky or something, but to eat it as steaks or hamburger, no. Okay, here's number 29. Still trying to dry. Our New York cityscape. And here is 30. So, yay, we're getting there. And I will talk to you later. And thank you for coming along with me in this little adventure of Icads. And I will talk to you later. Thank you.